All right. Hey, everybody. Julie Flippin here. So this is our first Q&A call with the boot camp. I'm excited to be on the call with you. I'm always happy to be talking to people who are making time for their business. And today you're making time for your business. So that's exciting for me. I wanted to just say that on the last call, we talked about your ideal client. What do you do? What are the benefits? What are your challenges or the needs that your clients have? And what are the results that they're going to get by working with you? So that was an incredibly important call. And one would think with a sales boot camp, I would start with the sales conversation. But the truth is, with all the business owners I speak with, a lot of them really do not know who their ideal client is. Like, they're just not 100% clear. We're diving into the sales conversation, like the 27th next week, and then I think November the 1st. So right after, we're really diving right into the sales conversation. We have to know this information in order to have a really amazing sales conversations, to be able to convert clients and to change the business as we would like it to be. So it's important that you understand your business from the inside out. And I know for some of you who have been around for a long time, that just seems like obvious. It's not obvious, and it's rare that I would work with anyone, no matter how seasoned they are, that we're not able to really focus in a little bit better on that. So, but today is our first Q&A call. I'm this almost a little bit distracted because I have a little friend sitting right at my feet, and she really wants to be up on my desk. And of course, I spoil this little girl terribly because I let her get up, and I hope she's not annoying, but she has a little bed on my desk, so she will lay down. So here's what I want to do on the Q&A call. Lay down. Sorry. How professional, eh? You know, one of the things, I will tell you this, when I started my business, when I started my psychotherapy business, I remember sitting with clients right at the beginning, trying to be perfect. Like, you know, how do I see a psychotherapist on TV going, yes, tell me more. And one of the things that I found after about a month is I thought, oh my gosh, I've spent all this money, I've got all this education, I've now created this business, and I hate it. And the reason I hate it is because I wasn't being who I really am. And so as professional as I try to be, it's more important for me to be authentic, professional, and to be able to show up in every part of my life exactly the same. And there's trust that gets built with that. So I'm not going to be different depending on where I'm at. So here's what I want to do in the Q&A. My assistant's coming to get my little friend here. Thank you. Life is grand, isn't it? So here's what I want to do in the Q&A call today. I'm always asking people to bring their biggest challenges to these calls. It doesn't have to be specifically about sales. It can be about any part of your business that you'd like clarity on or that I can help you on. Know that when we have Q&A, whatever you're bringing up is helpful for everybody on the call. And, you know, I'm always saying to people when we get on calls like this, because other people get to see them, is to really respect people who are coming, who want to talk about their business, like just the confidentiality piece of this. You know, respect who's having a conversation. And I usually ask people never to repeat what's said. I'm okay with repeating what's said, it's just not who said it. So if you can think about that. So I'm just going to dive in because honestly, this is your time. I'll be on the call as long as you want me to be on the call till 1:30 if we have that much time. Generally, depending on how many people are on the call, I love giving everybody time. And here's how we're going to do it. If you'd like to have a conversation with me, and I don't mind choosing someone, is who are you? And give me a 30-second infomercial. So not for me, for everybody in the group. One of the things that is great about groups like this is it's a perfect opportunity to do networking. If we don't know who you are and if you're not concise, it's really hard for us to be able to refer you to someone else. So as much as this is about you learning, it's about us learning about you and helping you grow your business. So who wants to go first? I don't know who's up in the left-hand corner here. Oh, Amal. It's like she had to get your thumb over the... Okay, who's up? Who's got some questions and has some... Una. Hello.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Now, there's a few new people I'm seeing, so hello. Good to meet new folks. There's some names on here I don't know, so... Yes, so my name's Una Wright, and I'm the founder of a charity, and we empower youth who have lived experience with mental health, bullying, and or addiction to share their personal stories in assemblies and workshops for grades 4 right through to post-secondary, for parents, and other caring adults. It's, yeah, so 1 minute.
Good.
Good then. Okay. Do you want me to go right into the question I had?
Yes, how can I help you today?
Okay, so and I did let Tara know that I'm expecting a couple of calls from schools, so I would take those because they're really hard to get back to if you don't catch them right away, and I might have to leave the call a little bit earlier. It's a really busy time of year for us, which is a good problem to have. But just to let you know if that happens, I'm not being rude. Okay. So I guess the question I have, and I'm not sure how to even pose it. I guess it's mostly around how much effort do you put into kind of following up with people who might either seem a little disengaged or say, oh, call me next Monday, but then you call and they're not there, and then you try again and they're not, you know what I mean? Where you feel like you're kind of, there's, at a personal level, you kind of almost feel like there's a bit of a disrespect for the, following through at their end of what they say they're going to do kind of thing.
Okay, well, that's a great question, and there's nothing more important than follow-up. So I want to reframe just a little bit for you about people who, I understand exactly what you're saying. When I'm calling, they're not calling me back, and why aren't they? And it would feel...
A lot of it these days, I've noticed, right? It's a lot of people doing business that way, right? Yeah.
Well, let's reframe that a little bit, because here's the problem. Here's the problem with having that belief or perspective, is that if I believe people are disrespectful and not getting back to me, then I will inevitably start attracting people that do that. Because the truth is, it's not for everybody is not doing that. And the other thing is, I never know what's going on at the other end of the people I'm calling. So I wouldn't necessarily think it's because they don't want to work with me. It would be easy to assume that. So I'm not going to make up a story. I don't know why. But here's what I'm going to say about follow-up. There are different ways of doing follow-up. And one of the things I really like to do is, and for someone like you, Una, who I know how hard it is to get into different schools, I understand that, is I like to have a strategy. So I've heard it said, and there's some statistics around 5 touch points before someone will buy from you at times. So I like to think of a strategy. So if I had a group of schools, so let's say I have 10 schools, they are in my radar. I want to really book assemblies with those schools. What would be the 5 touch points I'm going to use over the next 6 weeks? So I might call them at the beginning. So, and with yours, we would delve into what works best, but I'm just going to give you some thoughts. I'm going to give them a call. They don't call me back. Do I have their email address? Can I send them an email as a follow-up? Hey, I left you a message today. Would really love to connect with you about whatever that is. The 3rd week, I still haven't heard from them. I might mail them something. You're going to have to get out of the box and get noticed. So what would be the thing? I worked with a client a couple of weeks ago, and we were coming up with a follow-up strategy to get them noticed. And she went to the dollar store and she actually bought magnifying glass, little magnifying
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
Sent them to these people like in the third week or something, and it said, and the letter that went with it said, how often are you using a magnifying glass to look at this specific problem in your business? And then I have a great webinar coming up, blah, blah, blah. But you see, that's memorable. So then the fourth week, we have a different strategy. So
Okay.
I think what's happening today is buyers are very, very savvy, whether they're in a school and they're booking, they're still buyers, or whether
Okay.
we're in an office, whether it's people, using personal services. We're very savvy. We have telemarketers calling. That's annoying. We have things. How can I not be annoying,
Mm-hmm.
but be memorable? See,
Yeah.
this is the question, because
Yeah.
they're just doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to get in front of them in a way that would make them want to speak with me, because they would recognize that maybe there's something different about me, or maybe they just gave me a laugh that day. Because I can tell you, one of the greatest, I had someone, actually, they happened to be an employment agency, and I was managing a business. This was years ago. And they, did I ever need temporary help or full-time help that they could help me with? And I said, not really. Like, we had about 20 employees. We were good with that. And she said, no problem. Well, if you ever have a need, let us know. And I said, no problem. Every other week, she sent me something. Like one week, I got a bag of popcorn, microwave popcorn, and the note on it said, the next time you have a staffing issue, put your feet up, enjoy a bowl of popcorn, and let us look after it for you. So like every other week she was sending me something. I started looking forward to what she was going to send me. And I can tell you, the very first time I needed a temporary employee, guess what happened? But not only that, I told everybody about this company. I told everybody about, so does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Just like, let's get out of the box and start thinking about what would make someone want to work with you? What would make them want to call you back? That is what our job is. Helpful?
Yes, very.
And
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
What I would say too, Una, is, I mean, that those people that are leading those schools, they are under a tremendous amount of stress with the bullying issues, the mental health issues. Send them a stress ball. Let me relieve some stress and bring in my youth. Or, have you put a magnifying glass up to bullying going on in your school or the climate of your school? I mean, those are both great ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a really, really good idea. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Who's next? Anybody have any challenges or any problems I might be able to help them with? Anybody love to have a conversation with me and they have no idea what to talk about? All right, Amal. All right, hi.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Okay, I've done my homework.
Good. Okay.
So I'm going to practice it on everyone.
Thank you.
And then I'll ask my question, okay?
Very good.
My name is Amal Miranda from Miranda Immigration Services. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I specialize in top talented and experienced professionals. My clients are talented foreign workers, experienced professionals, and international students. The question is who come to me because they are challenged with. It's talented professionals who understand, giving them a better understanding of the immigration system, transferring international knowledge, and helping international students settle in Canada. And as a result of my services, clients feel that they've been heard, and they don't feel like they're stuck in the system. And they, after knowing the steps and the requirements, they get this attitude that, yes, I can do this, and avoid any misrepresentation with Immigration Canada.
Okay.
That's my commercial.
Great. So I almost started now, do not take this, I'm not insulting you. I almost started doing my grocery list.
Okay.
So here's what happened. Here's how you lost me.
Okay.
Got a little bit technical.
Okay.
Okay. So really and truly, your clients are anyone that wants to immigrate to Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Period. Your clients are anyone that wants to immigrate to Canada and are challenged with the red tape, not understanding the laws, and the amount of money that some of the immigration specialists are charging to help them make the transition. I have 12 years of experience and placed over whatever the number is, 600 people in Canada successfully, easily, and smoothly. If you're ready to make the transition or you know someone, I'd love to help them. So, I mean, I just kind of made that up. But you see how much easier that is? Like, it's simple. So it's like, you help anyone that wants to immigrate. Now, I know you specialize with students and things like that, so we'd want to work it in. But does that make sense? So yeah. First of all, I'm always going to say, when I'm going to do an infomercial, who's my audience that day?
Okay.
Who's my audience? Who would be either in the room or on a call? And so I would want to try and structure it a little bit to the audience that I would be in front of. If you get the opportunity to get in front of a school or someone that actually brings students over, I mean, that would be a perfect time to structure an infomercial around. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
But it needs to be smooth enough that people are engaged and listening.
Yeah.
It's your 30 seconds at an event. Okay,
so I'll practice some more.
No, but you know what? Thank you so much for being so open and so coachable. The truth is, like, we've all invested a lot of time and money into our businesses. So, you know, I want to be direct with you.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time to really sugarcoat everything. So I will be direct. But anyway, so how can I actually help you today?
Okay, so the question is, now that you know what kind of people I'm looking for, the question is, do I advertise in newspapers overseas? Do I advertise online? Like, how do I grab these professionals? Because they're also tech savvy and stuck to their phones, and no one ever picks up a newspaper anymore. And I'm a bit old fashioned. I like to see newspapers. So, and, you know, I like to write in the newspaper and then at the end have something about, you know, how to contact us kind of thing. So it's the channel of reaching these people. Like, what channel is best?
Okay. So first of all, when you know exactly who your ideal client is, part of creating what we call an avatar, or who is my ideal client, who are the people I tend to help the most. If you mentioned professionals, if they're professionals that want to come over, where would those professionals go to look for help? So are they people that would read the newspaper? Like, it's really getting to know your client that well. Are they going to read the newspaper? Are they going to be on LinkedIn? Is this about me finding more people as referral partners? Because I think having referral partners for you is going to be really key. So who are all the different people that would have a complementary business or would be in touch with people who want to come to this country? Okay, so that would be important. You're right about newspaper advertising. It's kind of like Yellow Pages. I built my second business on one little Yellow Page ad, but everybody used it, so used Yellow Pages. But here's what I'm going to say, because I can't just answer that for you without knowing a little bit more. But what I would say is, no matter which way you decide to market your business, if you decide newspapers would be the way to go for your ideal client, you can't just do it once. You have to consistently be in the newspaper. So it's like, how many times would I have to put an ad in, or is there any way someone would give me an opportunity to do an article in that newspaper? But you have to be consistent, and it's going to have to be over a number of weeks. What I like to think about if I'm doing a marketing, an advertising strategy such as yours is, what would be, so newspaper is a way for them to see something, radio is a way that they're going to hear something, being online is a different kind of a digital way that I'm going to connect with people. I would want to come at it from all sources. So I'm maybe not just trying one, but if you're thinking about, I want to do a blitz, then I'd probably try 3 different sources. So they hear me, see me, and then, get me on the net type of thing.
Okay.
Once you understand who your ideal client is, you will know where to market your business.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's just also like my friend has offered me a slot on a new TV channel to have my own show about immigration and talk about it. But I don't know, like, I'm just a bit nervous. I don't know which is the best way to go, and because that takes a lot of effort too, right?
Is it free? Is it free?
Yeah.
So
No.
It's a spot on TV.
Yeah.
And how often is it?
She says as many, you can just do it once a month or once a week, whatever you like.
So, all right. So let's say you did it twice a month.
Yeah.
You brought different issues there. You may have guests that have had problems. I wouldn't hesitate to do it. But I would love to talk to you. You do have some coaching calls. I'd love to talk to you about how I might structure that.
Okay.
Because it would be very intentional. Who, why, what.
Okay.
What you're wanting to do right now is position yourself as an expert.
Yeah, and that's I don't have clients yet, and I have previous clients from before, and I'm struggling with, like, I could transfer that knowledge and that experience to my present situation, but how do I make it look like it is real, but not real in my business, but real in my previous experience?
Well, don't get hung up on that.
Okay.
The fact is, you have helped hundreds of people over your 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years, you've helped hundreds of people relocate very simply. This is the experience that you're bringing forward. The fact that you've decided to branch out on your own is almost insignificant. Your experience speaks for itself. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
You bring a lot of value to your clients, but I would love to talk to you about, I think we need to talk about a whole strategy, not just newspaper or TV, but who's the client? Where are they? Where am I going to advertise? But really start, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a list of every single person you can think of in every industry that you believe would be a great referral partner for you.
Okay.
So lawyers, doctors. Sorry, Tara?
HR managers that are trying to hire from outside of Canada, HR managers, schools.
Yeah. So make a list of, just sit down and try and come up with 50 different either industry people someone that has a complementary service to what you do, or this is the person they would go and talk to and say, I would like to immigrate. I want you to do that because I'd like to create a strategy from that. I think that's going to be what I would call a long-term marketing strategy, but I think it'll be extremely effective for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is what's gonna, get that hook.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to do 2 or 3 different things.
Yeah,
but
of course.
as a long-term strategy, you're be in a position of referral partners will be very, very strong for you.
Okay, referral.
Right?
Okay, great. I'll put a list together before we chat.
Put a list together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so there you are. I'm just going to mute you. All right. Who else can I help today? Anybody else want to have a conversation? Okay. Glenn, you just you've got that beautiful red shirt on and you're the only male on our call. Can I help you with something today? Or would you like to at least introduce yourself?
Well, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Glenn Tupping with Nerds on Site, and I am a technology consultant, which means I work with business owners to integrate technology into the business and the most cost-effective method to keep them secure. And my specialty has always been data security and data recovery. So, and I've been working in the field now for 18 years. I've been on my own for about 6 years. And I guess my most pressing problem would be, or the one that comes up the most often in my business, is this used to be my hobby. And I haven't gotten used to the fact of charging people money to do what I do. And sometimes it's difficult because often when I get into to solve a problem, for me, it's reasonably easy. And the recommended price list, because I'm with a part of a large company, in 7 countries around the world, so they're pretty big. And they have a suggested fee schedule for our work. And often I find that I really can't charge, I don't have the confidence or whatever it takes to charge the fees that are recommended that all the other guys are charging. And especially for the stuff that I can fix relatively quickly. And then when I get into the complicated problems, I have a problem. I just have a problem putting forward the prices that apparently are quite common in our field. So there it is.
Okay, wow. Well, thank you, because I don't think you're alone in that. But I want to start by saying this. Your introduction, I really have no idea what you do. I mean, okay, Glenn, I know what you do, but that infomercial, you're technical consultant, you do technicals, you integrate the business, you have cost-effective methods. So just a suggestion I want to make to you is if there was a way, because you have a very technical business, if there's a way for you to simply tell us how you could help us or your corporate clients just in an easier way, that would be very helpful. Okay, so that ideal client and infomercial exercise, and I know we had a little problem getting you all connected on here, but I think that would be really helpful, and I would love to have a conversation with you about that if ever you would like to. So I just really want to address your question because it's one that comes up a lot, and I had a conversation with someone early this morning about this very thing. The thing that we find easy to do or that we're very knowledgeable about, we tend to think most people could figure it out or do it. It's no big deal. So we don't often give ourselves and the experience we have the value of what we're really bringing to someone. From what you've said, I would say you are incredibly experienced, and the value that you would bring to a client would be extraordinary. So how do we put a price to that? And I am guessing, because I don't know you that well, that part of it is, it's not that you're not confident about what you do, but it sounds like you are devaluing the experience that you're bringing to these clients and being able to solve their problem.
That would be fairly accurate, yes. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So just by what you said you do and the experience that you bring to the table, how do we put a dollar figure on that? Because if you are devaluing your services, you are never going to be able to convert clients into a price that they would be a respective price to charge for the work that you're doing. data security and recovery. How do you put a price tag on that? I know if I lost my data, I would be. So let me ask you this. Are you trying to price what you do based on what some of the bigger organizations are doing, or are you looking at your, we'll just call it your competition for now, in the area that you're in? Like how are you coming with these prices that you talked about that other people are charging?
Well, because I'm with a large network of other nerds, they have a suggested price list for the services we offer that are based on the average for all the guys around the world. Like we're in 10 countries around the world, so there's a wide variance in the prices. But I think the list that I have is a fair average on what we charge. And most of our clients are small businesses. We don't have a lot of large clients.
Okay, so you're dealing with a small business now, Glenn. Just so that I can understand the model of the company. Nerds on Site isn't your own company. You're part of a larger organization that's called Nerds on Site, or?
My company is T&T Computers, but I am partnered with Nerds on Site. So I'm an independent contractor subcontracting with them.
Okay, so you subcontract for Nerds on Site, but you have T&T Computers is your business.
Correct.
So Nerds on Site, so people go there and then they send people to you and then you do the work. Is that the way it goes?
Not really. The majority of my clients I get through my own efforts. I do get one or two that filter down through them contacting head office. But most of the business I generate is from what I do.
And is that run through T&T Computers?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So there's some confusion. So just need to ask this. Why are you saying you're from Nerds on Site if you're from T&T Computers?
It's a bigger name. People will recognize it a lot faster. It has a lot more, what do you call it? A bigger reputation. So it's for brand recognition, I guess.
Okay.
Like
So Nerds is all about brand recognition.
Right.
Okay. All right. So quite honestly, either way would not make any difference to me, which doesn't really mean anything, but just some feedback for you, because the truth is I'm hiring you. Mm-hmm. So there's a brand, but I have no idea what the standards are. I don't know what it takes to be a nerd. I don't know any of that. So whether you came to me from T&T Computers or Nerds on Site wouldn't make any difference. No, I'll just give you a little fee. I prefer T&T Computers. That's just my own personal. I'm just going to say that. Does it feel different for you when you talk about Nerds on Site or T&T Computers? Does it feel any different for you when you use the two company names?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, if you were to introduce yourself as Glenn Tuppling from T&T Computers, and whatever it is you do, not that really technical stuff, but specifically how you can help me, the small business owner, because you know what my needs are. You know better than anyone what I need that I don't even know I need. Does it feel any different than saying you're Glenn Tuppling from Nerds on Site?
Well, when I'm promoting myself as Nerds on Site, I feel I have a wider range of services I can offer, greater partnerships with other providers that I can provide through Nerds on Site that are just simply not available to me as an individual business owner.
And these other things that you can provide, they're all what I need as a small business owner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the benefit is that because we have such a wide network of nerds, okay, we have a bigger buying power, so we can offer a much higher level of service than is normally available and affordable for the smaller business owner.
Do you get to set the price when you're working under Nerds on Site? Or do you list the price list and that's what you have to charge?
No, they have a recommended price list, but I can charge whatever I want.
Okay, great. And so you can charge. So that's just helpful for me because I wasn't sure how it all got, how you got set up with two different, I just thought it was your company. So, which it is. Okay. So tell me, if we were talking about, it's so funny, I'm going to do a training call on money beliefs because it is the thing that it holds so many people back when we start talking about money. So if we were talking about you charging $100 an hour to do work versus $25 an hour, which do you feel the most comfortable with?
$100 an hour.
Okay. Now, if we were
talking,
so $100. Yeah, that's simple, right?
Yeah.
So if we said $150 an hour, $100 an hour, what are you more comfortable with?
Somewhere between the two.
So 125.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into some really technical aspects of data security and some integration, and it's really $200 an hour when you're working on that technical. How does that feel?
Yeah, I'm struggling. I like a flat rate system, so I go in and I say, this is what the job, you detail the job and what's involved, and then I come up with the price and say, this is what it's going to cost you. Doesn't matter what the hour, how long it takes. I don't like the hourly rate personally. Okay,
but don't you figure it out based on an hourly rate?
Yeah, not really, no.
So it doesn't matter if you're going to be 6 hours or 10 hours with them?
I guess, yeah, that's where I'm struggling.
Yes. Okay. So this is it's a much bigger conversation. And I would really, can you set up a call with me? Because I'd really love to go through this with you.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So obviously there's some money beliefs that are going on that are holding you back. There's the value in what you're bringing forward, and just maybe how you're structuring your pricing system, what you want. But if you're really ready to up the amount of money you're making and start putting more money in your bank account, this is a critical step for you. And you are absolutely right. There is no way, when we get into like really diving into the sales conversation, you're really going to struggle. Because the energy that we bring into that in terms of our beliefs and how good we feel about what we're doing and what we're charging would be, I mean, you must be stubbing your toe all over the place.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. And I am so glad, but this is a really big conversation for you and I to have. I would bet every single person on this call is getting value from this conversation, because as entrepreneurs and the single business owner, pricing and being able to sell the price that we charge is probably the most challenging thing that we do. And it's the thing that will either break us or move us forward in a way that makes having a business a lot of fun. Okay. So I wish I could be a bit more helpful on this call, but understanding what you do, but let's have a call, and let's have a call, and we're going to do it in person so we can really, so I can get Sarah into that call, and we're going to get this sorted out. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you, Glenn.
You bet.
Thanks for being such a good sport too, because I asked you, you didn't ask me. Okay, who else has something that they would love some help with? And Tassia. Hello.
You finally can see me.
Yes, we can.
Hello. Okay, so you want me to do my little infomercial first?
Everybody know who you are.
Oh, yes. Okay. So my name is Tassia Keene, and I'm the founder of Tassia Keene Home Staging and Design. I'm a professional home stager and color consultant, and I'm the one who goes into the homes and makes them sell fast and at a higher value. So I basically boost my home, and of course the phone has to ring as I do this. So I'm also an intervener for individuals who are deafblind, which means that I interpret auditory and visual information for them. And I use that very much in staging because I have a very different perspective when I go in and stage a home. And I think there's a huge degree of warmth and care that goes into the care of staging, which I bring in when I'm staging the home. And please ignore the background. So what a lot of people have said when they've met me, when it comes to realtors and homeowners themselves, is the degree of not only my detail-oriented view of things, but the care and the warmth that I bring and the persona that I bring into the home. That makes a huge difference. And because of that, it's a very stressful environment for the homeowners. And what happens is that with me, I facilitate making it a lot easier. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just going to say that you've gone way outside of a 30-second infomercial.
An infomercial.
It's all about your business, and which I love hearing about. It's fantastic. But one of the things that we all learn as we get out and about, and I mean, you know, everybody's in different places in their business, is how do I in 30 seconds let people know who I am and what I do? So there's a difference in a 30-second and even a 60-second. There's a difference in a 45-second. So it's really getting solid on those, you know, like you started out fantastic. You were very—
And then the phone distracted me.
Yeah, well, and when I'm out and about, there's going to be a million distractions, right?
Yeah.
But you were very clear. I knew exactly what you did, and I knew how you help clients. You just started after that to derail a little. So that's the thing. It's like we have to learn to tighten up what we're saying, be very clear. And if I'm fortunate enough to be able to stand up and talk, which, you know, is heart pounding for some people, but it's always so great. I want to make sure that I'm not going on and on. That's where you'll start to lose people. Okay. Awesome.
All right. So, I think what I wanted to talk about in terms of my question was, so when I was looking at my elevator speech and what I was doing just now, one of the big things when you go into real estate is that I'm going to be talking to not only the real estate agent, but the homeowners on very different perspectives. From the perspective of a homeowner, usually the real estate agent will send me to the homeowner because they don't want to be the bad guy. They want me to talk to the homeowner. And on the homeowner's end, money is a huge part of it. And yes, I can give them the statistics. I can give them all of that. I'm trying to see how I can find a balance between the personal aspect of it, because when I've gone into a lot of homes, culturally, a lot of whatever culture or heritage they may be, money is always a big issue. And because it's such a huge investment for them, staging, sometimes they don't see it as a necessity. Even if I could put articles and things in front of them to show them how it's actually going to sell the home faster. And especially with the market nowadays, where even it's going to spend sometimes a month or two on the market, they are very, very wary about spending even more money. So sometimes the hard prospect doesn't come in, even if I tell them I'm going to be helping them, I'm making it easier and facilitating a lot less stress, I'm putting things into place for them. The two levels of, firstly, you're coming into my home, you're touching my stuff, you're asking me to declutter, you are in fact, in some ways, giving me more stress. When I bring these things to them, the sales part of it instantly becomes a defensive part of it. And I don't know how to get past that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And it comes to the money aspect of it too.
Yeah. So let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that one of the things I heard you say is that they are wary of spending the money and it is a big investment? Is that true?
In the big scheme of things, when it comes to the house, no. But when you're talking...
Sorry, Tasha, what I'm asking you is, this is what they are saying. This is what your ideal clients say. So you have a belief already that they all feel this way. So it's a little bit about, I want to reframe this for you a little, because when you walk into a sales conversation already having the thought and this belief or this idea that it's going to be a really big investment. They probably won't want to spend the money. I'm going to have a hard time showing them the value of why they should spend that money. You've already, you've lessened the percentage or the possibility of you closing that sale.
Okay, I get that.
So and that's part of what I always say about the mindset piece is I have a great service. I help people move their homes so much quicker. I have such a touch with people's homes and the way I can listen to them and bring that into it. Oh my gosh, they would be so lucky to have me doing the staging on their house. So this is the self-talk. So when I walk in, it's like a huge investment. Are you kidding me? The investment is in their life so that they can get moving and get to the next stage of whatever it is that they want. I can hardly wait to tell them about that. Is very different than what you just said. So that step one is, it's like I need to start reframing my thoughts about this. And part of it is money is the biggest sales objection we always get. It's the biggest objection that people get is money. And so learning how to overcome that objection it's a real skill, and it's something we're really going to focus on when we get into the sales conversation. But the first step is having this perspective that I am really good at what I do, and I bring a lot of value, and they are going to get it. And oh my gosh, maybe I don't think I'm even charging enough. But you know what? This time I'm only going to do it this way. Your energy will be very different when you get to the part where they say, how much is this going to cost us? You won't be nervous. You'll be excited to tell them about it. So that's the first step. The next step is when you learn how to have a really authentic sales conversation with people, there is a way of opening them up and bringing up some of the objections before they even happen. A real master at sales will bring up objections before they come up and start overcoming them. So if you know the biggest objection that you have with your clients is, oh my gosh, that's too much money, then we start way back here telling stories and talking about the amount of money it is and having them see it from a different perspective before we get there. So, for example, I'm just going to make some stuff up. So you're having a sales conversation. So who they are, what they're looking for. It's like, why do you want to sell your home? It's like, oh, we want to sell the home because now we're going into the big house that we really want. This was our first one. Or maybe they're downsizing. But let's say they go into the big house and it's like, oh my gosh, that must be so exciting. Yes, it is. So, okay, now can you think of, you've probably already been out in the market, of any reason that it's going to take a while to sell your house? And so they may say something like, yeah, because our neighbors all took 4 or 5 months and we've already found our dream home and we want to sell it quickly. And it's like, yeah. And can you imagine if I told you that for someone in the exact same position actually waited 5 months to sell their house because they didn't bring someone in just to start moving things around, and all the feedback they were getting is the house just seemed so small because it was cluttered? Wouldn't it make sense for them to have made an investment in decluttering it? You see, so they may say, that would have made perfect sense. And it's like, exactly, this is what I'm telling people all the time. It's like, we can make some small changes and so that we can move your house and you can get into the house that you want. So then I'm still just going to keep asking them questions, but these are the types of things I start to lay into the conversation of, what's it worth to be able to get that house? Because, a lot of people they lose the house of their dreams because they can't move fast enough on it. And so as you start to layer in some different points and questions, and it's hard for me, I'm trying to think off the cuff here right now with your business, and I don't know it well enough to come up with things, but once they start agreeing more and understanding that to move your house it's kind of like you have 15 seconds or 20 seconds that people get an impression when they walk into a home. You walk into a home and within 15 or 20 seconds, you've already got a feeling of that home. I would ask them if they would agree with that, especially if they've been out looking at homes. They probably would say, yeah. And so they're kind of going, ooh, this feels weird. Or, oh my gosh, I love that. This feels great when I walk in. So I would start leading them down some of these paths, but telling them little stories and pulling in little tidbits and statistics around that as I move through the sales conversation. Does that all sound confusing for you, or am I making some sense?
Making perfect sense, yes.
Yeah, but these are the things that we don't take the time when we're doing a sales conversation, because we're so busy getting to the money that we haven't taken the time to set it up properly before we ever tell them what the investment is. So that they see that the value is there. What people want to know is, am I going to get value for the money I'm spending? That's what we all want to know. I mean, there are times that I would spend more than what I would, my money belief is about something, because I see extraordinary value and it's going to get me something that I really want. So
a question for that, based on what you're saying, if I get, say, an inquiry of, say, those homeowner sites where people direct inquiries to me, and they're asking about, say, if they're asking about price, and you have to say something there in terms of like a scale, a pricing scale. How do you then work in what you're saying?
Well, are you having a conversation with them?
No, it's just sending an email.
Well, so to have a conversation with them, it's just like, hey, I'm happy to give you that structure. Can we hop on the phone for 10 minutes?
Yes. But I never get any further with them. I say, you know what, I'm free to give you a call, because a lot of these sites that send me information like that, they don't give me the homeowner's telephone number. So I send them back an email through the site, and I give them information. I give them my website. I say, I would love to chat with you to see how I can best serve your needs and to give you a better perspective on whatever. And, I don't know how to get any further with them, because so that's an important.
You never hear back from them?
No.
Okay, so either A, they are not your ideal client because they're just about the money. I don't think if people are looking for the very cheapest stager that they can get, I don't think that's your ideal client. But I would love to have a conversation with you, and maybe you can have one with Tara when you have your marketing conversation about how you're responding to those, because I think we could come up with a way. I would love to try 2 or 3 different ways of responding to see if you start getting any kind of a response.
Okay.
So whatever you're doing isn't working. That's what I'm hearing right now, because nobody's responding. So I would love to come up with 3 different strategies and then try them and see, oh, I got a response on that one. Okay, now I'm heading in the right direction.
Okay. So if you can email me one of the responses you've sent, that would give me a good jumping off point so that I can assist you.
Okay, perfect, Tara.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? How else can I help? Anyone have any questions or? Let's see. All right, Miss Cinda Simpson, how are you today? You're not muted, Cinda. Uh-oh. I can't hear you, though. Down in the left-hand corner, because I have you unmuted. Is the volume up on your computer? Do you have a volume button? Do you know sign language? Cinda does the best infomercials too. Now I've set you up. That's so it is on your end. So the only thing I can say is I do have you, Glenn, do you have an idea for us? I'm going to mute you and unmute you. Try again. No. So, well, we'll leave you with it. Maybe see if someone's around that can help you.
Or see if she just logs off and logs back in, and when she joins back in, join using your computer audio.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll be here when you come back. Okay. Patricia. Oh, sorry.
Wait. Okay, wait.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I feel like in the school nobody gonna talk, and we're just like, no me.
And you may not have a question, but take this opportunity just to introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes. My name is Patricia. Okay. I came late to the meeting, and I see it's about to be able in 30 seconds to explain your business, right?
Yes.
Through the conversation, I just realized I need to have 30 seconds for entrepreneurs and small business, and also for medium business. Like I should separate. I just realized now. Okay. So I was making my presentation for entrepreneurs and small business, which I have already.
So,
should I start with that?
So you're with small business owners?
Yes, with owners. But I have a product for small business and entrepreneurs. But also I have a product for medium business.
Okay, so first of all, what's the name of your business?
Okay, this is a digital marketing agency, and the name is Vision Digital. Vision means butter in Spanish.
Okay, so something
digital.
Marketing, right?
It's a digital marketing agency.
Okay, agency. All right. So
yes.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal. Okay, my ideal or the clients that I have?
Well, okay, the clients you have. Who are the clients you have?
I have a small and medium business. One medium business and a small business, most of them.
Okay, well, so you work with small businesses and you work with marketing. Now,
yes.
Are you primarily working with English-speaking business owners or Spanish?
Both of them. I'm getting, okay, I thought was a good idea to get in overseas, out from the country, getting the Spanish speakers, because they feel more comfortable speaking in their own language. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing that in Canada, but also I work with some Canadians and with English speakers.
Okay, because you're... Yeah, because your accent is quite
strong, right?
Yeah, so I'm really, and I'm saying very respectfully to you, and that's why I wondered if you tended to work more with.
I start to work with Canadians, but it started to came all my Spanish people. I didn't want them, but they just came to me like, oh, we need a Spanish speaker doing that job, and there is not many Spanish speakers doing this. So they are coming more, and then I want to speak more English, but I'm not able now doing my job.
Well, okay, but this is really fantastic. Like, yay, you're bilingual, and that. Now, do you speak more than English and Spanish?
I'm using more Spanish now.
Okay.
Just my clients.
So you can always. And this is what I often will say to people. Mm-hmm. You can always do some night classes, English as a second language,
Right.
But the other thing that's really helpful is even if you get a book and you read the book out loud. Right. All right. It sounds really simple, and it doesn't have to be a big complicated book. It can be as simple as a children's book, to be quite honest with you, but just to what you'll start to do when you read it out loud is you'll be forming the words, and you'll start to get, it's not just the words, sometimes it's the way we say our sentences, how we form a sentence, but you'll start to just, so I would say, just for you, if you want to work with more Canadian or English speaking, start even something as simple as that. Say, for 15 or 20 minutes every day, I'm going to simply read a book out loud.
Okay.
Like just something that simple, okay?
Okay.
And I think what you'll find is you will start to change the way you talk a little bit. It's so, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today, and we were talking about learning French or learning a different language. And one of the great ways of learning a language is by singing songs in that language. And I thought, what a wonderful way of teaching someone. So if I was singing in French, for example, my grandson's learning French, and so they're learning French songs, but he also knows the song in English, and so anyway. But those are just some little tips, and I would suggest you just start, because obviously you have this wonderful energy, you're passionate about your business, and I don't ever want anyone to doubt your capabilities because you're languaging. Like, you would never want that. And unfortunately, people have a perception. So just work away slowly at that. And the other thing I want to say is, if you've got Spanish people coming to you, there must be a need in the marketplace for someone like you in that community. Then great.
Yeah. And also I have noticed with my accent, because it's a lot of people in Toronto with a strong accent, they feel comfortable. I didn't know this. They feel comfortable with someone in the same level that don't speak that great English, which was weird in the beginning. Like, oh, I get a new market, which I didn't know. Yeah, it's just,
well,
that's interesting thing.
Yeah, see, we wouldn't have that experience. So you're learning a lot of different things. And then it's a matter of taking some of that and us saying, how can we create some really great marketing for you around that? I mean, if you're doing digital marketing, then language is everything. Your copy is everything in marketing, right?
Right.
So how can we use some of this type of experience that you're having to attract some different types of clients for you? Because you may find your ideal client is not the typical Canadian English speaking. It may be people that have accents that are Spanish, that may be your ideal client, right? And being able to translate for them to attract people who aren't just speaking the same language as them would be a tremendous value.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so do you have a question, or we're good?
No, not really. Okay, I'm just making the 30 seconds introduce for entrepreneur and small business, but I think in another meeting we do it. I'm just making it now, so yeah.
Okay, so I really want you to work on that, because what's going to be really important for you is to get out networking. Okay, so I want you to work on that so it's very clear, and you're able to say it clearly. And feel free, because you do have some calls with Tara and with myself, so you'll know when you want to use those calls, but this is critically important.
Okay.
Before sales conversations start at a first meeting. Before I ever get into actually talking to someone about working with me, it starts way back here when I first meet them, and I think, I'm interested in working with. There was something about that person. There was something about what they said, even to get me to the table to have a sales conversation. So yeah, good. Please work on that, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. So Cinda's not at her desk now. Oh, she's a slippery little one, that. But Katie Pitts. Hey, Katie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am really good. It is nice to see you and talk to you.
You too. I've had my video off because I got two little ones running around that I didn't want to be distracting. So I think I'm good for like 5-10 minutes. Perfect. I need a little bit of help with not necessarily an infomercial, but like the elevator pitch. So something catchy on when somebody says, "What do you do?" And well, I guess I could tell everybody what I do.
Well, I was going to say, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Katie Pitts, and I am a pediatric sleep consultant, and I'm now getting into the area of adult sleep. So I work with anybody from newborns all the way up to 100 years old on just helping them learn some better healthy sleep habits and get a good night of sleep.
Very good. Well, that was nice and clear.
So, okay, because I just kind of wing that.
Well, here's what I liked about it is you told us what you did, and you've got two different, basically either children or adults. And I like I'll tell you what caught my interest in that. It's always interesting when I listen to people do infomercials is what caught my interest when you said from newborns to someone that's 100. That piqued my interest right there. So, and to get healthy sleeps, that was another thing that felt really important that you said. So,
okay.
The elevator thing is where I've got 10 seconds. I'm meeting all kinds of people out and about and we're shaking hands. And it's like, then that's always the question, especially if you're at any kind of a business gathering, or you may be at a health and wellness conference or something like that. And again, you have those seconds. I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but my very favorite way, and I think it was in some of the handout. Oh, sorry, I was waving at Daryl. He's trying to help Cinda now. Is always, I try and fashion an elevator speech or talk or whatever I'm going to say to help the person in front of me self-identify if they'd be a good client. So that's why I always start with, if you said, hey, I'm Katie. It's like, hey, I'm Julie. And you said to me, so what do you do? I'd say something like, well, you know how, so you have to decide, okay, am I going to talk about adult sleep or am I going to talk about baby sleep? So it may be the age of the person that you're in front of. So if you're someone like me, you're probably not going to start talking about a newborn. Okay, because I know I'm very, very youthful looking, but I probably don't look like I'm about to have a newborn. Oh, don't let me have a newborn right now in my life. So you might say, okay, there's that woman I would probably talk to about adult sleep. So I'd say something like, as women, as we, as more and more women start to age, how it always shows up, or how they have more problems at night sleeping as they get older and the stress of their work happens and they go to bed tired and they wake up tired. Well, I help women and adults learn how to have really deep, healthy sleep so that they wake up energized, they have vitality, and they feel awesome.
Okay.
Now, here's what's going to happen. First of all, you're talking to me. I'm a woman of a certain age, so I've probably passed the barrier where I'm getting some of those warm nights. And so be flexible enough to change it. But you've told me that you've mentioned my challenge. You know how women especially have a hard time sleeping as they get older. I'm just trying to be careful around that a little bit. So you'll, be appropriate. Well, this is what I help them do. But what you're saying is, see, a lot of people think that people are interested in buy because of their problem, but they really don't. What creates urgency and clarity for people is what I'm going to get if I get a better sleep. Because I want energy, I want vitality, and I want to feel excited when I get up and rested every day. And so when you say that, I'm going to self-identify. I'm either going to say, oh, that's nice, and move on, or I'm going to say, oh my God, you just told my story.
Yeah.
You see, an elevator speech is about getting the person in front of you to identify themselves as an ideal client for you or not. And it's like in 15 seconds, I'm either going to say to you, oh my gosh, I would love to work with you, or my sister needs your help because
Yeah.
she's a wreck. Or, hey, nice to meet you. Bye. But
Okay.
you spent 15 seconds. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So you want them, anybody you're talking to, you basically, the goal is to get them to think that's me, or that's my friend, or that's picture somebody in their head that you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is available to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yummy. I want that. So here I am at an event and I say, hi. Oh, hi, Katie. So what do you do?
Oh, well, you know how, oh gosh, sorry, I just got put on the spot. Um, well, you know how sometimes you wake up in the morning just feeling really groggy and, not sure how you're going to make it through the day because you tossed and churned all night?
No.
Well, that's where I come in and I help people get a better night's sleep so that they're waking up feeling refreshed and energized and ready to tackle the day.
Good. Okay. So good.
Ish.
So that was about 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Now take that and play with it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is very simple. If I were 20 years younger or more, 30 years younger, you might say, you know how people who are having children often don't sleep well because either they're tossing and turning or their children are keeping them awake. I work with toddlers and adults too. So you might be able to come up with a great way of doing that.
Okay.
Okay. Helpful?
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Katie. Oh, I did something. Okay. Now where is she? Cinda, did we get it sorted out? Can't, even with Daryl in there. Glenn, get over to ESS this afternoon and sort Cinda out. Okay, well, next time we will make sure that we can hear you because I would have loved to have heard an infomercial. I will tell you a little story about Cinda though, if I may. Okay, this is one of the first things I heard about her. When I first saw her, from Glenn to me, she could do a group chat. I'm not sure what that is. So I heard that this lady who was at this meeting used to be terrified about doing infomercials. So if I'm wrong here, let me know. And didn't know what to say. So she made it her mission to figure this out and to start coming up with really good infomercials. And so that's a little bit about what I know. But wherever I'm at, if Cinda does an infomercial, it's always excellent. Like it's on point. It's even the tone of her voice, you listen. And so she's really put it all together. And I was hoping I was really going to put her on the spot today because not only I think do you do great infomercials, but I think you also are very helpful for other people learning how to do infomercials. So Cinda is one of the owners of ESS Direct here in Barrie and Sweet Success. And they have, excuse me a moment. They have offices for rent. They have boardrooms and meeting rooms that they rent. And it's the space I always use when I'm teaching live. I always go to their locations. So I've gotten to know Cinda over the years. So anyway, next time, Cinda, we'll get it sorted out. So where are we? And I'm not sure whose phone number is on down here. So I'm going to unmute 795-3657. So you're on the phone. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, I'm Sherry Lynn Bilo, and I'm from Grandma's house, and I didn't have an idea how to hook it up to do the face thing, so I did it by my phone.
Okay, and yes, I remember you. Well, no, and great that you're on your phone. Just to let you know, in the future, there's an actual app, a Zoom app.
Okay.
You can put on your phone, and you can actually zoom in with it, or zoom in, but we can see you and you can see us and that type of thing. But hey, we're happy that you're on the call. So would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Okay, so as I said before, my name is Sherry Lynn Bilo, and my business is Grandma's House. What I do is I am currently working with seniors at a private home, and I'm looking to buy my own home, and I will kind of like the Golden Girls, where the seniors will live all in one place, having their own room, and then I will have a care person that will be with them to have an eye out just to make sure that medications are being taken properly. It's hopefully non-medical, and we're looking for, it's a family environment. And as you can tell, this is my first or second time that I've actually had to talk about my business without it feeling like I'm just talking to a friend. So I'm not good at this, but.
Okay, well, you know what? First of all, thank you for doing it. And whether it's your second or your third or your fourth, I'm always, when I'm talking to any business owner, wanting to give them an opportunity to say who they are and what they do. So you'll get better and better at that. The exercise that we had posted, and when you go on the Facebook site, under files, you'll see the ideal client exercise. It also has some different ideas as to how to do an infomercial and an elevator speech. If you haven't done that, Sherilyn, I would please go back and do that exercise. It'll be really helpful for you in identifying and just starting to, how do I actually do up? So, so is there something I can help you with today?
Well, I think my question was because I won this, and then I was like, I'm looking at it, and I go on my thing, and I'm like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to be hooking up. But as I see, you're saying going to Facebook, go to my files, and then I can click it on, and it's going to show me what to do, because that's what I don't really know how I'm supposed to be doing the homework, and I haven't done anything.
Okay, well, no, that's great. So have you accepted our friend request for the Savvy Sales Bootcamp Facebook group?
I believe so. I believe I'm on there, and I have an iPad. That's what I use.
Okay. So as long as you've accepted it, because it's a private group that only people who are in this boot camp can access. So when you go into that group, like when you open that group up, over on the left, you'll see files, just a word that says files. When you click on files, all the homework will be there. You will have the other call that we had done already. You can go back and listen to that. I record all the calls so that you can go back and listen to it. And so that's going to be a really great place for you to start. And if you're not sure about Zoom, just ask a question, any question at all on the, you can pose any question and we'll explain it to you. So, hey, I'm glad you called in. You figured that out. So that's and then next time we'll be able to see you.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So start with just getting in there. Look at the homework. Listen to the first call, and then, you know, I did some coaching on that call around who people's ideal clients are and things. Like, I think you know, but I think you didn't do a bad job at all. But we can really flesh that out as to get a lot more specific about who your ideal client is.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I cut you off as you were thanking us, so you're welcome. Okay, so I think I've talked to everybody that's on the call today, and you know, what we'll find on the calls is we have 25 or 30 people in the group. You'll find different people at different times on the calls. Here's the way I always look at it. The lower the number, especially on the Q&As, the more time that you get. Even on the training calls, instead of me just recording something or giving you something, I wanted to make the training calls more realistic for you. So I do them live just like this, where you can ask questions after, and we can really talk about the information that I'm giving you, because I don't want it to be just information. I'm hoping that it is valuable content that you can actually integrate and apply to your business in some way so that you can really start taking action. So it's been great being on the call today. I think our next call is October the 27th and then November the 1st. So we have two fairly close together. That's where we're diving into the sales conversation. So I just want to encourage everyone, please make sure you're really clear about who your ideal client is, what are the benefits that you bring to them, what are their challenges or needs, and what your pricing and or packages. This is going to be critical. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to have a sales conversation. You just won't be able to. So if you are stuck at all, this is the foundation of your business. This is it, like right here. Everything is being built from that. If you're not 100% clear, it's what you want to use one of your calls with Tara or I for. And that's, you know, I've structured this in a way to, even though it's an online program, to be as personable as possible, where you get some calls and we can sort this stuff out, because I want you to get value, and more important, I want you to be able to build your business with some of the things that we're learning. So it's been great. So if you can be on the call on the 27th, that'll be fantastic. So if you have any specific questions right there, we can go through it. I believe Tara's already loaded the sales conversation in the Facebook site. So I'm going to be going through that in a lot more detail. I'm going to break it down for the first 4 steps on the first call, November the 2nd. We'll go through the next 4 on that call. And then I'm going to be asking everybody to start getting accountable and start practicing these sales conversations, because it's the only way we're going to make a difference in our business. Oh, it's been great being on the call today. I love talking to business owners and entrepreneurs. So go out, enjoy the rest of your day. The weather here, I know everybody's from different places. The weather here is absolutely gorgeous today. And if you can, go make some sales, or at the very least, decide to go to a couple of different networking events and start meeting people and talking about you and your business. So have a great day, have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye.